All right, so for this video, we're going to do lessons 55 and 56 together. Even if you don't do the work together, we're going to do the video together because both of them are on the same thing. And both of them are about common denominators. So we are working more with fractions. So we can go ahead and do our first example. So our first example is 3/4 plus 1/2. Now the denominators aren't common, so we need to find a common denominator. And so we know that 2 does go into 4, and it goes in 2 times. So we can multiply this fraction by 2. Or we can just say 2 over 2. And that's going to give us 2/4. So then my new problem is 3/4 plus 2/4. And then I can just add it. 3 plus 2 is 5. And then my denominator is common, so I can just bring it straight across. 5/4 is an improper fraction, so I turn that into a mixed number, and it becomes 1 1/4. So all I did was find a common number that goes into both of these denominators. So I find the common multiple. All right, and my next one is 1/2 minus 1/6. So then we would find a common for these two. We know that 2 goes into 6 3 times, so then we can multiply this one by 3. So we have 1/2 times 3 is going to give us 3/6. So my new equation is 3/6 minus 1/6, which is going to equal 2/6, which can then be reduced to 1/3. So again, all I had to do was figure out a common denominator, which was finding the multiple, something that both of them can go into. And I turned that one into it by multiplying it out, got 3/6, plugged it in, and there's my answer. So that's what lesson 55 is about. Lesson 56 is then comparing two fractions. So we are going to compare 3/8 and 1/2. So we need to know whether one is greater than, equal to, or less than the other. That's what we're working on. So we can look at it and know that 2 is going to go into 8, and it goes in 4 times. So we're going to multiply this one by 4, so which is going to give us 4/8. 4/8 is greater than 3/8. So we just plug that in. So 3/8 is less than 1/2. All right, and then my next one is going to be 2/3 and 3/4. Yep. So we see that we have two numbers. 3 does not go into 4. 4 does not go into 3. So what would be something common that both of them go into? And the simplest way to do it is we can just multiply the denominators. Instead of you having to go through all of the factors and figure it out, we can just multiply them together, and that's totally up to you. So if we multiply 3 and 4, it's 12. So 2/3 we're going to multiply by 4 because we multiplied that by, we multiplied that 3 by 4 to get the 12. So our denominator would be 12. And then 4 times 2 is 8. So our new fraction there is 8/12. And then we have the 3/4. We're going to multiply by 3 because we multiplied 4 by 3 originally to get our denominator of 12. And then 3 times 3 is 9. So our new fractions are 8/12 over 9/12. 9/12 is greater than 8/12. So it went the same way. So again, in order to get the common denominator, we can just look and see if one of the denominators will go into the other one evenly. And if it does, then the larger number can become the common denominator. If not, then we can multiply them together, and whatever they're multiplied together as becomes the denominator. So that one was 12. And then we multiplied the numerator by whatever we multiplied the denominator by to get its common multiple. And then we would compare them in this lesson. Up there, then we would just subtract or add or whatever it's asking us to do. And that is common denominators.